Hello, how are you guys? You got to see the top of my head, did you? How lucky. I'm just looking. I just was, I'm a minute or so late because I was just doing my nails, and it's called Alter Ego. I'm not quite sure what I think of the color, and I was hitting my cuticle, so I was just looking. Don't you look too close when you get to see it. So hello. Yes, I did used to sell gel moments. So yes, you could have bought stuff from me, but that's not what this is about. I am Lori LaRose, and I have Active Stamping here on Facebook. I also have an Instagram channel and a new YouTube channel that I'm putting all my Facebook lives onto actively because all of our lives are now only up for like 30 days. So FYI, if you like something that you see, my understanding is that when they're downloaded, they've been saved basically. And so over on my channel, the big plus of that is now they're cataloged as opposed to, I think it was Tuesday last 4 weeks ago, and you're rolling through. One other thing, just as you're looking, and FYI, and please do this for me. If you know how to go back really far, really, and quite fast kind of thing, if there's a favorite one, like from a couple years ago, because I've been doing lives most weeknights for like 3 years, maybe 4 even, during COVID. So really, well, okay, 2025. Okay, so for quite a few years, I found there was a need basically, and so I began, and there is where it is. So basically, if there's one that you think, hey, I might not get to it honestly. I'm trying to roll further back and put them on. I pity the fools, and if you're my age, you know who that is. But I pity the fools that are trying to subscribe to my channel right now, and it's like every 5 minutes, ding, Lori put a new video on, ding, Lori put a new video on. Anyways, I am not sure where everybody is. I will say, and I didn't know for sure, but my girlfriend Connie is doing a live on her page, and I'm wondering if that's where everybody is. Oh, there's somebody. Hello, new person. I'm generally not one to wait for people to arrive, but I was like, where is everybody? But I'm checking. I'm pretty sure I'm public. Otherwise, it's my friends. And so I think, oh, Alexina. Yay! I know now that I am on the public page. Once in a blue moon, I go live on my own personal page, and it's like, ay, ay, ay. Anyways, hello, and you've just in time. I'm about to start my Tuesday textures. And I have to say, I've started to think that I'm not quite sure how many more weeks we'll have of textures, because I'm not sure everything about our cards are kind of texture, if that makes sense. So I'm kind of not positive where I stop at this point. I'll do a quick recap if I can find what I can. Hi, Jan. But I will, I'll show you what we've done the last few Tuesdays. If they spark anything and you're like, hey, do that one, touch base. And to do with the videos, if you either leave them on here, a lot of times I do see the messages here, or message me. I love to get the messages. And for this, if something sparks your interest by seeing something and you're like, hey, this is a good texture idea, you should bring that one up. Do you remember when we used to do that? So I've been stamping for 23 years with Stampin' Up, and there is a lot of good ones out there. So I would love to revisit more of them, like the one that we're doing tonight. We're going to do some bokeh, and I brought out an old card. If you can see that little llama, you know how long ago this card was made. So this is the effect that we're going to make today. Are you ready? Steady? Go. I'm going to pop you over, down, and I'll show you my messy desk. Oh yeah, there was my... So I was trying to figure out all of my different... experimenting. I was trying to figure out where my otter came from, because he's definitely a texture as well, but not a classic texture, right? But he was O for otters. So Thursday mornings is my next one, and Thursday mornings we go live with the ABCs and 1, 2, 3s of this. Okay, so to do the bokeh, one way of doing it. So this is a card kit, folks, and I double checked last night. Absolutely, you can no longer get it. But if you live in Canada, I can ship the guts to you for a pretty decent price. So touch base with me. 32, what would it be? 32 times 11%. So probably 40. Let's go with 40. That I'm sure I'll be able to ship this in a $5 package. $41 probably, but it's super cute. They're done really quick and easy, and they're kind of fun. So I do have them available still. Mostly, you know what, when I show a kit, it just kind of shows you all the kits you should take a peek at, because there are a ton of beautiful ones in the dealio. Okay, so I have this piece of paper. We're gonna add some colors to it because I love inking. We're gonna do some bokeh tonight. I'm going to do this one. I've got a yellow and a thing and a thing. I'm going to do this one with some blues because I do love my blues. I'm going to add a little bit of purple or pinky, and then, oh, I'm going to add pink actually because I like when, but wait, I have a pink. I'm going to do some greens. Green alligator. It is the month of green. Let's do some green, some summer splash. And some, I thought I had another blue here. Ooh, let's do some of this. This is crazy fun. Okay. Hi, Keisha. I'm so glad I got your little note. That's awesome. I'm excited for you. Woo! Always happy to have a good idea once in a while. Okay, we're going to start with, I'm going to do Summer Splash first here. And I do not have a Summer Splash color for these brushes, but because I'm just doing a schmage, we'll be okay. I do love these glass mats. We start off and come right on, and it's kind of, this is a beautiful color. I do not use this one enough. Good thing the summer's coming and I can bring it back. So because I've just said I like it, I'm going to do the whole thing, and then I can fill in and layer. So we're creating a base, and I think, I'm 92% sure that I have an idea of what else we can do here. So, ooh, okay, that's just pretty all by itself. Ta-da! So it's kind of cool because there was a few extra people. I know that sometimes people roll past and it's like, well, I didn't really mean to stop in here. I know personally, I actually like watching them. Oh, this is pretty. I like watching them on a replay. So if you are a replay girl because I babble too much or I move too slow, or sometimes the process is slow. It's definitely a process in my world. I never know quite what I'm doing. Today I'm pretty darn close to knowing. Look at, we're going to make something like this. Obviously not in pinks. And it's used with, so bring along if you're ready to get going, a white piece of paper, 4 by, this is really, really pretty. This is the one reason that I get caught up watching. But I do kind of wish, well, this is where I do my reels, is because then I can speed it up. And I guess my personality is, let's hurry up and get to the end. Yeah, I never quite know what I'm doing. But 4 by 5 1/4 I'm working on here, and I'm just adding some ink just to make a pretty background. And then we're going to use a finger dauber. So go and grab your finger daubers and either your white craft refill works nice. And especially in this case, when I've added some ink, you do end up picking up the ink with your dauber. So better just to use your refill. But if you really don't have a refill, which you should have a refill, by the way, FYI, you know that my new game, even if you don't even have a white ink pad, you could also buy a baby ink pad, maybe a baby ink spot. But the Memento ink into the white craft stamping pad, and then you'd have a whole refill because that's the only way you can get it, FYI. I'm going to add a little tiny bit of Pretty Peacock, not a lot, because this is a pretty strong color. But so I'm starting off the page, and we'll see what we see. Oh, it's not such a strong color. What am I talking about? It's not strong at all. All right, so I just did my nails like 10 seconds ago, and I'm kind of liking the color. It's called Alter Ego. Not sure what I think of gray in general, but they're kind of pretty. I just love nails being done. I did my daughter's nails. She was up for the weekend, and just literally, we got way late a couple times. We were going to do it a few times during the weekend, and we were actually going to do it the last time she was up to boot, and we didn't get to it. So it was like, this time it was like, come on. So she wasn't allowed to actually leave until I finished her nails. All right. So this is a really pretty combination. So this is Summer Splash, Granny Apple Green, and Peacock. And I should write that down somewhere. Keisha, write that down for me, please, and send it to me. That is a really, I like that. Now, there's not a lot of, I don't feel like there's a lot of Summer Splash left in there, so I'm just going to add in a little tiny bit more, just in case. And it doesn't need to be dark, I don't think, this background, but probably a little bit darker is better than not, maybe, to see this. So we're going to find out. Okay, and then I still have all this pretty color here, so just a minute. So the one thing I like about the glass mat is I can kind of clean up the mat with the brush itself. Okay, so I'm going to close those guys up. We can actually, except that I pick up the ink anyways practically. I'm going to set that aside just for a few minutes. And there's two ways to do bokeh. My favorite way is the one that I'm about to show you, but maybe I'll show you another one as well. And I'm just going to clean this up because we don't need to pick up those ink stains. All right, there we go. All right, so I probably will hit that with a heat gun in a few seconds, but I'll just let that dry naturally for a few minutes. I'm going to show, hopefully, the bokeh process. I'm going to bring in a piece of fresh freesia, and I'm going to bring in the fresh freesia and a blending pen. And I do think it's nice with this bokeh to have a little bit of textures again. So I believe, and I might be wrong, you guys can sound in on this, that's not a texture. I think it will be. I actually kind of think layers of ink add texture instantly. And so the other day I was showing textures. I'm not sure where the one was, but I found this card in my old stash, if you can tell from some of the old stamping images, but textures by layering layers and layers of stamps from some of the old different stamps that we had. You get some different textures there. And then another one that I found, we did dryer sheets earlier in the month, or maybe even in February. That's a dryer sheet over a flower, which is something that we had talked about doing. And I did it over a butterfly, and it was kind of pretty, hey? So now I think that automatically has a little bit of texture on this card just by adding that little tiny bit of, what do you call that? A little bit of ink. Clean that up. All right, so what you do also need is some holes punched or run through your cut and emboss machine. I've got 3 different sizes. I'm going to start with that bigger one. And then again, we're going to use some white craft ink. And I guess I'll put it right here so that you can see what I'm doing, kind of, hopefully. And I have a finger dauber. I don't know about the brushes and this. I don't even really like using black with this. And that's going to be really heavy, so I'm spreading it out because I don't want it to be that heavy. So I'm going to go fairly light at this point. And then at the end, you'll see me pressing harder. And I'm daubing as opposed to rubbing. You might be able to rub too, but I'm just going to daub. And I'm hoping that yes, we can see it. Yay, yay. This is sometimes hard when you're doing the spot. Would you agree? You can't 100% tell if you've got it in there. Do you know what I mean? And then you lift it and all of a sudden, ta-da! It's the same as when I'm doing the clouds. And all of a sudden, they're light, but they're there. And we're going to be doing this for a while. So honestly, if you're like, oh. So this one, I've used colored cardstock. And I was curious about that. So I tested it out with a little piece of my Azure. And yes, you can do it. So that's the effect that we're going for. That's cardstock with just a little tiny bit of, in this case, I actually did blueberry over top of the Azure. But now I'm doing, I did a little freesia, so tone on tone. And I'm just doing some circles. And I'm doing several of that size. And then you're going to cross over and bring in the next one, and you're going for it. And we're just going to do some circles on this. And then the question will be, then what do you put over top of this? And I'm thinking all sorts of stuff. We have actually, when I did this one, obviously I stamped right over top with a large word set. And there's a little guy coming out of there. We've got a few new animals coming out. There's a whole, what's that called? It's African safari, savannah. A whole savannah of animals. Rhinoceros and a giraffe. Is there a zebra in that new one? And they're all just from the shoulders up like this guy. Now look how beautiful. So you can stop anytime or you can keep going. So this area here is actually not, to me, it looked a little bit, okay, so through your camera, you can see. In real life, this kind of looks like it's actually been done because there's no darker purple in there. I am just gonna see if I stick, and first, because I wanna do this one, I'm just curious about this, and then I'll go back and do this one, just down a little tiny bit. I am just a little bit curious. I'm gonna put some more re-anchor here. Hi, Mary Punches. How are you doing? I already finished one of my boxes. Oh, I have to show my card off. I forgot to show this yesterday, Mary. So I got a parcel in the mail and a beautiful card. Isn't that fun? I love it. And I got a parcel of chocolate, my favorite. I don't know if that came from me talking about excitedly from coming home from San Diego and bringing home a bunch, but I got some Milk Duds, and they're really, really yummy, and I'm super excited by it. Thank you for your sweet kindness, gesture, and generosity. My daughter, like I said, was home, and she's like, she sent you Milk Duds? That's so awesome. And then she proceeded to have some. So I nicely shared because that's not really my forte. But anyways, it was very, very kind of you. Thank you so much, my dear. All right. So we are doing bokeh, and it's quite dreamy, isn't it? Oh, I really like it. Okay, so I do feel like there needs to be one down here. And then I'm not going to fill this one up quite as full as I did like with this one. I just kept going and going and going. So you can go over and over and over, or really you can stop anytime you feel you need to or want to. And it is a bit addicting, can I say. And there can be darker ones and lighter ones. And then at some point sort of just say, okay, that's enough. And then I think a few very small ones, quite brilliant and white and bright. So bokeh is bouquet. Oh, I did a bouquet before. When did I do that? Because we just recently, I remember getting corrected. Anita, somebody tag Anita and make her come on and watch. She corrected my my pronunciation of it. We must have a bouquet stamp. Do we have? Oh, it's because of the bouquet paper. So we do have bouquet paper. And sillily, I don't think I have. I would have to find that one card that I worked with. I actually I had the bouquet and I miscalculated I didn't count myself in on a paper share basically. And so eyes out. Okay, so, and I keep getting kind of glimmers of what I want to put on this. And I may end up adding just a couple more. For right now, I'm going to leave that as it is. Let's see how it dries. This one is pretty well dry at this point. And I feel like it could have, I never did have the small, and I feel like it could have one of these nice small ones or two. And obviously 3 would make it best, right? And I might have done those too much in a triangle. Yeah, I figured so. So 4 and 5, 6. Like I said, it's sort of like you can start and put a, oh, that's fun. You can start by putting a, oh, I really like these. Do you know how sometimes when you have something on your mind, so I'm curious how it's gonna look on yellow. So I'm going to go ahead and do that as well. I kind of feel like I want to do a smaller version of it, but we'll see how it goes. And meanwhile, I'm trying to think what I would like to do as a something. So again, I'm using White Craft Refill, which you should have because I told you to get it to make your black ink marker. And I'm not even teasing. So if you don't have White Craft ink, you have no excuse not to do this because you should buy the White Craft pad. It comes with a refill, which is exactly what you need to do this technique with. And And then you can put your black memento ink. So you also need to buy that, which I kind of feel like that might be out of stock right now. But anyways, I just missed that. Like, oh, well, whatever. That's minimal. No, it's not. But basically, then you can do this. And there's there's a few different techniques. Well, I'm going to show another technique actually sometime soon. I have an idea with this white craft as well. This was not born from, so I don't, oh, you know what I'm missing? What did I forget to do? Adding a little bit of color texture behind there. Because I'm really feeling like this one is not speaking to me at all. It's totally flat, hey? And so I think the difference is that we need to have, and see here, I didn't have any swirl, and it's a little bit different too, even though you can see that there's one there. A lot of times you don't see it just looking at it. So I forgot to put some ink in here. I will add some now and see if we can correct our errors, correct our ways. I'm going to start with a little bit of yellowish. I think I have actually crumb cake on this little brush, so let's see how that works out. And I'm wondering, after doing that pretty card, this is the Stamping on Stamp. It's pretty, I almost could do it on that one. I'm almost wondering if I want to do a little apricot, or not apricot, pumpkin pie. We need an apricot. Did we have apricot at one point? Apricot. I feel like we did. I wonder what it was called. Apricot Sublime. No, of course it has to be an A. So I've already got the white in there. I think this is going to make all the difference. Crazy as it is, I'm glad I kind of caught on. So it definitely needs a swirl of color. That is the key part, clearly. It's not the circles. By accident, I have figured that out for you. Hi, Carol. Come on. It was beads. That's funny. That's awesome. Well, what I could, you know what? That gives me a good idea to have that at ready stash. I should bead them. I should turn them into a candy necklace. And then I could just, you know how when we were kids and we used to have the necklace, we used to, you know, the candy necklaces, you'd chew them, and then you'd have a sticky neck. I could totally do that. Okay. All right, let's see how that goes. So I definitely think this one also had some coloring. When I do the next one, I'm going to check. Let's see if this makes a big difference when we add this over top of this. But yeah, if you have questions of what the heck I'm talking about, the black ink pads, basically bottom line, you buy Memento ink refill and a white craft ink pad. That ink pad will come with your white, so then you can do this technique. You don't use the white craft ink in your pad. You fill it instead with just a little bit of black Memento ink, and you have this lovely, soft, very effective, better ink pad. So the Memento black ink pad is very messy. I always found my whole, like all these last several years we've had it, and it's messy when you get your fingers dirty. The lid touches the ink pad, and it's just kind of messy. And so the technique, what I'm doing is I'm crossing over. I'm not sure that you can see constantly, but I'm layering over top, and the more layered, and it does layer on top, if that makes sense. And where, what's that called, like Venn diagrams, where it vends, it's actually sort of fun as well. This one's sort of hard to see it on, but you can see there the Venn is kind of a pretty, and that's part of it. So you definitely absolutely want to be covering up and over. The crossover is some of the magic as well. So you absolutely, can you guys hear me? Last time this happened, you couldn't hear me anymore. Can you hear me? Keisha, can you hear me? Rats. Hang on. I know that I'm always on delay. Oh, yay. Yay. The last time it went off like that, I didn't get back on, right? I had to kick us all off. Okay, so now the yellow is okay. I guess I prefer, I think maybe it needs to be darker. It's pretty subtle. In real life, it's actually prettier than what I'm seeing on the camera. This one I like on camera and in real life. It's kind of darker. It's more pronounced in your camera. It kind of almost actually, right in that angle, it kind of looks gauby. But in real life, when I'm looking at it, this one's really, really pretty. This one is very, very subtle. Oh, see there, now you can see it's very dark as well. So this one's more subtle in real life than this one, but I don't mind. You know what I did do is I have a lot more big ones on here. So let me just do 2 more little tiny ones. And the little ones are kind of neat to, oh, he is just standing naked like a jaybird, and that's not going to work. The little ones definitely need to, these big spots need to be definitely overlapped something, because it's like the end. So that guy, he might be underneath something anyway, so we won't worry about it. All right, do you want me to do one more in a different color and see what it's like? You want me to do that one, the green, the original one. So this one, oops, I'm bouncing around like crazy. This one I did on, thanks Keisha. Thank you guys for letting me know, Alexina and Mary. This one was ink. I feel like it's dry enough. Do you want me to do this one or the pink? Which one are you dying to see next? And then this one, do you know what I guess? This one almost, I just keep getting a glimpse of something on this one. I don't even think I'm going to stamp on that one after. I'll be playing with these guys. Okay. I'm actually just going to see what I want to use. You know that I never really, beyond the background, I never know what I think I want to do next. So if I go with the idea of the words, we do have one set that's all about the big words. Oh, and it's even a good word. Sending, sunshine, and rainbows. So I can do that. Oh, and it's even bigger in real life. 95%. Or oh, happy day. But I'm definitely going to do the sending, sunshine, and rainbows. And I'm going to do that one, I think, on that yellow because it's totally sunshine. Question of the day, what color I should do it in. I'm going to stamp it directly on. I'm actually going to pull out my stamp apparatus so I can stamp it twice. I will say that the white craft ink acts like, I don't know even what, but it's been a while since I used, I think I can stamp inside of this. It kind of acts as an absorbent. You can tell here, it mutes it. Even though I stamped over top, it kind of eats it. So, what color should I stamp on there? And then I'll go ahead and do this one. I think the pink one's going to be, it's going to be a little bit light, and that's enough. Probably we're running late probably. And then I'll do that one with something. This one, I don't know if I want black. Do I want black? I could do like blueberry bushel. That might be pretty. Or starry night is one of my favorite colors. That hasn't been around for over a year now. All right, let's see how this goes. You'll get to see from my example how much gets on here. So again, if you have a white craft ink pad, probably from me doing these, mine is kind of dirty. It's not very clean. And it's because when you do some techniques, of course, you get in trouble. All right, so we'll start. We will begin. Now, this is a darker one than any of the other ones except for the blue itself. But let's see how pretty that is. Ta-da! All right, and I do need more ink. So we're doing bokeh. And it is Technique Tuesday here. And I'm not sure what time it is, but my husband is headed out the door to go play hockey, so it must be getting close to me being done. You guys are like, hurry up, Lori, wrap it up. What was I watching the other day? And she was a television producer. And I don't know which one it was. All right, I probably should have been writing cards to people, but I was not. So this is kind of neat because it starts out quite bright and then you'll watch and it disappears. It's like, it gets 8, which is why then you're like, oh, that's great. And then you're like, wait, I need more. And you definitely can do more or less depending on your mood and possibly an idea that you have. And then some of you may have seen, I can maybe do it with this one, the idea of, oh, here maybe. Oh, no. There, here we go. I'm looking for an eraser, and you can do a little bit straight there. And you dip in like it's like an ink pad. And yeah, okay. That also gives a little bit of a bokeh effect. I don't know why I was doing lines. Got better. And then if you put your little... So I wouldn't necessarily double these up. I was just curious. I was just wanted to show you another way of doing this is what I'm trying to tell you. And then you can put a little... look at me looking. An image. What is this? I gotta... What is that? There's no way that went together on purpose, did it? No, it's just stuck on there. That looks like a snowstorm, so that doesn't work. I did really straight lines out of here, so this is not the best bokeh with that thing, but it's basically doing repeated stamping to give softer looks. My goodness. How did I go from having 1,000 things at my desk to having none? Bird will kind of work, but not very well. No, there's a heart, but that's not really great either. It's the wings. Oh, dear. This is the wrong color. It's not very bright, but really that's the idea. Is then it looks like there's a bokeh around it. I'll leave it there. All right, so this is this guy. Let's do a few more here. Okay, so you can sort of see that's a little bit green. You guys are like, squirrel. Don't mean to be. Sorry. It is not the end of the world. You see sometimes my paper shifts underneath. It's not the end of the world. All right, so there's that, and then I like this dark color here, so let's cover it up a little bit. I'm gonna leave that blank altogether in that corner. And this is just really, really pretty. Let's see how that goes. So there's no right or wrong. There's no real something. I got one single down here. I don't know how much you can see these. Let me wave it around. I have 2, which I think, oh, should I do 3? I've got 4, 3, 1, and 1. I don't know. I kind of like it. And then depending on what I do, I think I'm going to go up there, but I'm going to leave that one blank. And I'm also going to do just a little tiny bit right here. And then, and it is, oh, and that'll make it 3 to boot. On this guy, barely crossing over, but oh, that totally is gorgeous. Nice. All right, so that is bokeh with the white, which again, like I said, is my favorite. This is sort of a bokeh where you kind of radiate out from your image and have soft and light intensities. Coupled with this one, I actually have the bokeh going on there, but that's okay. you know what? I'm kind of curious, and I may wreck this, but this has been sitting here, and I'm wondering, should I? I'm going to. I'm going to see what it looks like to bokeh over top of a stamped image like this. Let's see. And then the other thing that I could try is what it's like to bokeh over a piece of DSP. Let's see. Okay, we can clearly see I whited that out a bit. Might be kind of neat. Let's see. Because it could look like a snowstorm. In real life, bokeh, pardon me, I keep saying it wrong because 20 years of saying it incorrectly. It's hard to break it. Bokeh occurs naturally when the sun does some neat things, and you can capture it on your camera. That's actually where it really, really came from. And so it would occur in nature is what I guess I'm trying to say, which is why I kept, like, this was staring at me being like, May! May! So I'm not loving it as much as this, but I don't hate it. I just don't love it as much. And I don't think it'll show up per se. Oh, it does. And you know what? You'll always kind of see it. But I might have to work on that a little tiny bit. It's so. And I don't know. I know this is going to be weird, but I feel like I kind of want... oh, hang on. I know how I can do this. I have markers. I feel like I need a little bit of yellow and something else. So this is one of my markers. I'm going to color on here. And that now has transferred some stuff. I'm definitely going to then have this in here. And I'm just wondering if it has a little tinge of yellow. If it adds a little highlight. And it also could even have, like, it needs a little bit more, and I don't know why. Big blob of distinctions of stuff there now. And in real life, it could have pink in it as well, is what I'm really actually thinking about. It's very subtle, can I just say? Let's see if I can get some. Oh, it's going to have some pink. Because it's like a rainbow. The bouquet could be. Yeah. Anyways, okay. That was just extra. And I kind of feel like our papers are going to be similar. So you definitely would want it to be a dark enough DSP so that you can see it. Here, I have a little tiny scrap here. Oh, I don't have a scrap. It's a very big piece. So like this one, I don't think this is going to look good, quite honestly. So I'm not going to wreck that piece. I thought it was a little scrap. I think I know I could bokeh this probably. But again, I want to use this. I'll bokeh just down here because I won't use this little tiny corner. Never fear. I'm only going to do this one little tiny corner. Hang on. I'm going to get a little tiny bit more fresh stuff. Hi, Roz. How you doing, hon? All right. Let's try this over the... I feel like this should work. Again, doesn't 100% like being over top of an image, does it? All right. So I will, okay, just to see if it's DSP, let's do up here and see what this does. Yeah, that's pretty. So it doesn't really like being over an image, does it? But it's good over top of the colors. You guys are like, now you're getting into that other part again. Yeah, I got 2 inches over there. I'm good. So because of the clouds, it's pretty subtle, really subtle, and it's fading away fast. If I hold it just right, but generally speaking, you'd be like, what's on there? Oh, there's something. Oh, there's something on there. I wonder what they were doing. Okay, cool. All right, inkiness is good. Cleaning up some white stuff. I'm gonna, yeah, so bouquet. I am gonna guess that nobody, hi Betty, how are you? How's Evelyn up there? Alexina says it looks great. Nobody told me what color to stamp on top of this darn yellow. Thanks a lot, you guys. Okay. That's fine. I'm fine with that. You don't have to. I don't think this has to be straight, but if I want it to be a little bit straight, do like that. All right, sorry. I just was setting up my, if you're like, where did she go? Sorry. Oh, Melon Mambo. Starry Night, I agree with you. Oh, I'm sorry that she's not feeling well. All right, so now, I've got Starry Night and Melon Mambo. Wow, 2 really different colors. What to do? I like both ideas. You know, I might go with Melon Mambo, really. But I might go with Melon Mambo just because it's so crazy and outrageous. Better than Petunia Pop then, because otherwise, so my only concern, I guess, now is I'm thinking it. If I'm thinking Petunia Pop, I go to Easter color. If we go Melon Mambo, is it going to be a bright enough red, pink, or, okay, you know what I can do? I'm going to bring my Starry Sky over as I come. I have a little piece of, oh, it's not little, of course, because when is it ever? Well, that's not even that. What is that, Lemon Lolly? Yes. No, yes. So all I've done is I had a little snip of Lemon Lolly. Oh, I have a piece here. I can cheat a little. It's not going to be quite the same. So I have pulled out my Stamparatus because I want to stamp twice. I'm going to actually stamp on a little piece of what's this called? Lemon Lolly with a stamp. Hang on one second. To be fair, yes, here. To be fair, I should do it with some writing. My Melon Mambo's not going to be very dark, but let's see here. No, Keisha, that doesn't do it for me. I don't like it. I'm going Starry Sky, mostly because that's what I wanted to go. Totally could do Blueberry Bushel. This is not bad. It might be kind of cool, but I'm kind of scared. What do you think? If I'd have done it, do you think it would be perfect? Are you like, no, what are you doing? So I'm picking this up and stamping, picking. Oh, so pretty. Stamping. I'm hoping like heck that it does the job it's supposed to do. I wanted to use the Stamparatus just so that if it stays all in place perfect, I can stamp multiple times and get it nice and dark. Going over top of the white kind of eats it. So, let's see. And then I don't know if I need to add a little something like I did on the other card. It's quite pretty. Can you guys see it? No, you can't at all. I've been cheating. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? So I think that's dark enough. And I think it's going to stay dark enough. So we won't tempt fate anymore. I already did it, what, 3 or 4 times. that is the plus of the Sampras, which is no longer available, but if you have it, bring it on out. That turned out pretty. It definitely needs more. So I need to finish. I ran into a girlfriend and a customer of mine, and I want to tell you guys that, of course, some of my stuff I end up making some cards like this one, but see, it's not done still, right? So yeah, I make this kind of a card in 45 minutes or whatever, but it's not been glued down. It doesn't have the ribbon. It doesn't have the actual words. So I'm hoping that I'm not discouraging anybody by actually working through the process with you from scratch, definitely not having a clue what I'm making, and then all of a sudden I have a card at the end. Well, I don't really. It's not glued down, right? Do you know what I mean? So hopefully I'm not discouraging it. It does take a little bit of time. The work itself, just even doing the process, takes a little time. Takes a little time making it work. All right, so I think the thing, like, look, now when I put that on, I totally have taken away everything that's on there. So that, I guess, is one plus, one idea with the bokeh. I did not look at the gallery and see that. Now I would be like, oh, I should go and see what everybody did. Now that I filled in some stuff, I'm like, oh, I don't want to cover it up too much. So on this one, I did a neat little job, just a little tiny bit on the side. And I'm thinking we could do something kind of similar here, where we have just something, but not a ton. This is the wrong color, but just a little bit of, I did. I knew. I thought I saw a putty cat. I did. You did see a putty cat. I'm just thinking something like this. Ooh, might not be bad. Wrong color, like I said, but I could do that with this, you know what I mean? But maybe something like that, and then this is also all nice texture. Probably this needs to be squared off. Do you know what else? With this saying rainbows, I kind of feel like I want to have, and I could even have, $8.50. Okay, good. I have a dream. I'm sure that works. I was quite up high, so I have room at the bottom to do something, and we could do something little. So totally could do something like this. I do not think that it needs to be him, but something that would fill up the whole bottom. That wouldn't be bad. That would be not a bad idea, but he's not. He looks kind of okay, but it's not the right feel. You know what I mean? What do I want to put there? Hi, Allie. How you doing? All right. So this guy, I just keep. Have you worked with your paper? What have you been doing with your paper? Maybe I can do it with mine that I just made. The paper. I'm just making bouquet paper. All right. And Allie could probably speak up to what bouquet is as far as. I'm going to actually Google it. Bokeh in photography. Bokeh in photography refers to the aesthetic quality. See, and the very first thing that they've pointed out is yellows and greens. You literally can have, which is why the muted colors, although we're doing it just with the one color, you literally, I think I will come back on that darn tree that I was working on, and I think I'm going to cover it. But I think most of it is, I believe in bokeh, that'll be the trouble with this. You blur the background and you just pop out these little bits of blurry highlighted subject kind of. And so you have out of focus areas in an image and it gives you this pops of highlight. It is not actually, I mean, the blur or haze. Bokeh is primarily cheap. So I think in this case I'd have to cover the whole thing. But the background's not blurry, and that's the problem with this. Do you know, I wonder, I'm going to go crazy afterwards since I've kind of wrecked it anyways. I'm going to literally blur it. I'm going to wash it, water wash it. Hopefully it'll all smear. And then after it's all smeared, I'm going to come back and I'm going to do this and we'll see what happens. I'm not going to do that live. All right. Okay. So yeah, and it's to draw some attention. So in this case, basically we're drawing attention, and that's why I think it would be kind of fun. And I keep getting kind of a pop of what I want to do, but then I'm missing it. What's here? Come here. And we just lose it all by just covering it up, so I don't really want to do that. Oh, I wonder. Yes, maybe I might need to ground it a bit more. So he's not on there. Could do something like, again, I kind of want to do a rainbow image. Him on here is not bad. And I would fussy cut into here, which won't hurt for wherever I end up using this, but I will cut out this white part so that that can show through here. You guys are like, what are you doing? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I am. You are not, you can say. Yeah, I am. All right. So we are quickly rounding down to the end of this month of March. Can you believe it? Oh, I want that definitely up on there. I kind of like that. Oh, I'm out of screen. I kind of like that actually, you guys. That is not bad for just looking at what I have. Okay, that being said, I have happy birthday here. Let's see what I have for. I have a whole little box of things over here. Bring it in, Lori, bring it in. What do you have in your magic tickle trunk? Oh, can I use a mug? Could maybe do coffee. Ooh, so this is the wrong color. Listen to me. Ooh, ooh. Ooh. Hang on. I gotta tread lightly here because I have made a mess here again. Did I just do the 3? I guess so now, hey? This is the wrong color, but something like that idea, very clear, will be fun. And then having something like that's not bad. And then some words. This little guy is on here as well. Again, wrong color, but neat idea. And, you guys are like, Lori, you're crazy. Okay, so I have to say, I'm going to have to leave it. I'll have to come back and finish it off. Not even on Thursday morning, obviously. But let's zoom out just a little tiny bit so I can get these guys on here. Oh, here's a friend. Thank you for being a friend. Sorry, that was really, really out of tune. I need something here. It could just be a ribbon. Totally. Travel around and back again. Do, 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 do. Oh, how about this? Nope. Nope. I threw a party and invited everyone I knew. Biggest thing. I'll say. You guys are like, oh, Lori. See, this is not getting done in an hour, is it? No, I am working on 3 of them. I'll give myself a little slack. Okay, I want something. Can't believe I don't have more little finite things over here. What is going on? Do you know what might work here? Almost, but not quite, hey? But something like that might not be bad. Oh, look at this pretty thing. I do have something hanging out here. Let's see if I can pull it out without it breaking from the mess. Hang on. some metallic. Come in. This is perfect for this. Da, 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 da. Oh, there's 9 o'clock. So I'll have to layer the friend so you can see it better. That's not bad. And then if I layer it onto, let's see what it looks like on white. A white card base. That's kind of pretty. And then I'll put the sunshine and rainbows onto that one. Just needs something. Something like that's not bad. I think I'm going to try and find my rainbows from some set or another and go with that. And then this little guy, he also needs to, he almost needs to be inside of something like this. So he's too big, but somehow or another he's not too big on this card, so I don't know why. But I could almost have a little bit more. He needs just a little bit more to ground him. And it might just even be words and also a card base. Sorry, I'm just trying to find a card base here. My otter can be a card base. There, that's exactly what I want. And then can you guys hear the stuff falling on the floor? Oh, sorry. Sorry for those that hurts their hearts to hear my messy house. Literally, I had a dream. From those sets, I just had those words. Rats. Hang on. Neither of those are going to work. You know I was going to pull from yesterday's card. Rats. Okay, hang on. We're doing that one. So sorry. Yes, that's my arm. I'm trying to find a piece of paper because I just need it to ground and then it'll be good. Oh, this is going to be too small, darn it. Oh, maybe not. Oh, perfect. Oh, that's super thin. Anyways, but something like that will help ground all of him. Somehow. I will say that it's kind of sticky. I want his, it's sort of funny. I kind of want his branch, but, and his tail, but it's not working. But yes, that does ground him, right? So, there's my 3 cards today. This one really needs some work. So pretty though. So my hint to you is have some fun, and then you have backgrounds to then play with. Curious how you guys finish them off. I will show you how I really finish these 3 off. I will absolutely finish them so that you see, and we'll go from there. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I know it was a little slow moving, but I think, can you get the angles of all these? In real life, I know you can hardly see that one. And this one, I don't feel like you can see it all, so I will wave it around a bit. It is really, really fabulous. Like in real life, it's prettier than on the screen. In real life, all of them look this cool. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think you're seeing a pretty cool image of this with this one. And in truth, all of them look as cool as that, if that makes sense. So I'm not quite sure why the camera's picking up, kind of weird, but there it is. All right, I'll let you go. Thank you very much for your hanging out, and I will see you Wednesday night. I've got a really fun little card going for my girls on my club where we shop our stash and work together. And then I'll see you Thursday morning. We have got Q. And I wondered about that quilling. I think I ran last night and got the quilled beer card. Thank goodness it's not quilling. Let me just give you a heads up. It is not quilling, but watch for it. It's going to be super fun. And I will see you on Thursday, 10 a.m. Mountain Time, for the ABCs of techniques. Thanks very much. See you guys later. Bye-bye.